Hello, my loves, and welcome back to another episode of Shots of Serenity podcast. I am your host, Jasmine St. John, and this is a beautiful space to land where we explore ways to welcome peace and love into our lives through mindfulness, soul care, and self-exploration. If you are listening to the audio, and you can tell by the title of this episode, I have Miss Jessica on here. Hopefully we can focus, because I'm over here doing my intro, and she's looking at me like she's crazy. I felt her eyes on me. Anywho, hey.
Hi.
See, here she go. I hope we hear her audio. Anywho, we like to start each episode off by asking, how are you doing? So really taking some time to check in with yourself, go beyond the I'm good, I'm okay, I'm chilling. And again, as you can tell by the title of this week's episode, we are having a very interesting conversation surrounding surrendering. And so before we get into the very well-known guest, if she's not on the podcast, I'm mentioning her at least once. One would say I'm just a little obsessed, I'm not sure. But before we get into that, I want to say, are y'all ready for the holidays? Y'all got some plans?
Sagittarius season.
Y'all know what's happening?
Sagittarius season.
It's Scorpio season right now, so hey Scorpios.
Sagittarius matters.
And then Sagittarius season, but happy season to you guys. We are also having the soft landing this month. I believe is November 20th and 21st. I don't know why I can't remember the date right now, but it'll all be in our show notes in the description. You're going to be able to go to the website and see everything. I believe it's the week before Thanksgiving. But yeah, what other updates do I have for you guys? Oh, y'all know the meditations that I have been having on the pod. And I was talking about this brand called Reborn, and it was the Rebirth Your Senses. We've done all of the meditations. So we have the touch, the smell, the sight, the hearing, the taste. Is that everything?
I think you might have doubled it, but yeah.
Did I? Touch, smell, hearing, taste, and feeling.
Yay.
Yay, she knows her senses. Yeah. But anywho, all those beautiful meditations are not only in collaboration with this beautiful person's brand, but we have some of them on right now. I have the yellow one on. What sense is this?
That is citrine. That color. And that is correlated with smell of smoke, feel is earth.
So
Sound.
this is feel, and this is earth. What you have on?
Earth is what I have on.
Okay.
And then
Is mine like sight?
no, sight is red. Taste.
Okay, mine is taste. Very on brand. So yeah, and then she also has all of her bracelets here too. So we'll zoom in on that. As I mentioned during the meditation, they come with a meditation. They come with one of the shirts, whichever one you picked, and then whichever bracelet that you choose as well. So that'll also be in the show notes. Yeah, how beautiful. First we were talking about it, and then it was in our meditations. Now we're here. Anywho, hi.
What's up?
I wanted to bring the bestie Westie on, who is also my baby mama and wife, because we are no stranger to change at all, especially from moving from Tallahassee to Orlando, moving from what we thought we were as adults, but like real adults, kind of, maybe, I don't know. And so I felt like this would,
I still question that every day.
Right. I feel like what better person to have on, especially now that we have our video component. You've been hearing her. You may have seen her on different like snips on our Instagram page. And then if you follow me personally, I'm sure you see her. If you don't see her, you see her finger in a video. Because one thing she has to do is let the world know that she is still here.
That's one thing that's not changing.
But yet, she's going to show you. So we've given her an entire conversation. I do want to start off with asking you, how are you doing? Genuinely. Don't.
I'm like chilling, but like you're not gonna accept that. So I'm, you said my isms.
I'm listening. What's yours?
I'm good. I am living. I'm alive, and I am taking it day by day. Not bad, not extremely great.
Okay.
In my luteal phase, so yeah.
Got you.
Yeah.
I don't know if your hair is going to be...
You know, I got inches.
Right. Okay.
Already.
Got you. So, okay, I want to first start off with the fact...
Well, how are you?
Huh?
How are you?
Why do you always get on here and talk solo?
I'm not. I went closer to the mic.
You don't have to. You could just...
Free will.
But then you're going to be really loud.
Free will.
I am well. I feel like we had a very long day. We've had a lot going on. We went to bed late and then still woke up at a decent
I went to
time.
bed a little earlier than you were.
But we still went pretty late relatively.
Hungry, yeah.
But I really can't complain. I feel like I was able to get my movement in. It felt good to run as long as I did without stopping. And then being able to not only spend time together, especially,
She's leaving me, y'all.
before my trip.
She's leaving me for over 2 weeks.
But also the fact that I feel like we've been really productive, like very locked in with like business stuff. I just feel like we got to do better with the rest of the year. Fall can't be our only time that we're like doing the thing. But anywho, Chatty Cathy, how I am doing is well. I am grateful. I have some energy. Actually, I'm still well. I was going to say my phone broke. Okay, but I'm still okay. We're going to go figure that out after this. So wish us some luck. By the time this comes out, hopefully I got a new phone or a fixed phone. But anywho, thank you for asking. Okay, so I have my notes here, of course. So I wanted to start off with the fact that I feel like surrender is often associated with like religion and all the things, but we all have an opportunity to surrender, whether that be within our relationships, within various seasons of our life, within our career, within our personal growth, etc., etc. And so I thought it would be nice to have this conversation, especially as we're transitioning into the end of the year. And this has been a really interesting theme in the both of our lives. So I figured, why not have a conversation about it? We're talking about it in one way, shape, or form throughout the day. We talk about a lot of things. So I figured, why not bring it into the pod? So first, I want to kind of start off with, what does surrendering mean to you, especially in this season?
I think let's preface this, right, before I get into that. Control is it's a thing, And I feel like for me, that's a hard thing to give. I'm not sure in one of your episodes, you talk about my big three, which is Sagittarius, Virgo, Capricorn. Let's just throw that out there. And that's very hard because Virgo, I want to have a plan. I want to do this. I want to do that. Capricorn is like, bitch, you need to make it happen. Can I cuss on here? You got to let me know because if I can't cuss,
Right now that
All
we're doing videos, we may change that, but...
You can just leave it out. Yeah. And then my Sagittarius is like, oh, just be free. And it's just like, yeah. So I think prefacing this answer with somebody that struggles with control, tug and pull type of thing, I would say surrendering in where I'm at in this season as a 26-year-old is, once I go through a lot of doors and it's like, what flying hoot is going on? And at the end of the day, I'm like, you know what? I'm still open these doors. I'm not going to have too much, I don't want to say power, but too much of a tie to whether it's open or closed. Like, if it's closed, okay, I'm just going to the next one. If it opens, I'm not going to get so happy and then wrap it up into it. This is why I end all be all, whatever that is, whether that's friendships, job, business, X, Y, and Z. So I think surrendering looks like I'm going to still try, because I feel like even in the religious aspect, faith without works is dead. I think it's because I be on one side or the other. Like, if I'm opening all these doors, if I'm trying this, trying that, and it's just not working for me, I'm taking that to heart. Like, it's what does that mean for me? It's not working. I'm 26 years old. I should be a multi-millionaire by now. Like,
What does that mean? It's not working?
nothing's happening that you can see. So therefore, it's like,
Okay.
nothing's happening. But I think, like, I had a moment like 2 weeks ago. Like, I put on gospel, and the song was "God's Got My Back" by Forrest Frank. Them lyrics, even when I'm low, I felt low. But yeah, at this point it's just like, whatever. I'll try this, try that. I'm not tied to whatever it is. If it happens, great. Get a call. I'm not going to jump on it just because it's there. So I think that's like career-wise with friends and stuff. It's a little weary, but that's where I'm at.
So what does surrender mean to you?
Surrender means that I am going to still try in whatever aspect I'm angling at, and I'm also not going to be upset if nothing happens the way I would like it to happen, as well as there's some kind of comfort in knowing that the universe is still going to do what it needs to do. So, like a quote that I said like yesterday, the earth is continuously spinning. I can't expect change not to happen, because the earth doesn't even stand still. Yes, stillness is great and everything else, but change is also
Inevitable.
So I think surrendering is throwing up your hands and like not being attached to the outcome. And then go from there. It's not I'm just gonna close my eyes, not do anything. Whatever is gonna happen is gonna be happening for me. No, I don't believe that to be true. But it's at least saying, flip this coin, whatever side it comes up, I am not swayed either way. I'm not going to feel on my lowest, even though I'm human. I'll get myself back together, as well as I'm not going to feel like I won the lottery because it donates. So it's a willingness to try. It's a willingness to give it back to the universe as when you did all you could do, and not ponder or be in that pool of regret, guilt, shame, disappointment, all of the other. So hopefully that just up into whatever that means.
Yeah, and again, the question was, what does it mean to you? And as we were talking, I definitely resonate and relate. I definitely agree with the things that you're saying as it relates to what surrendering looks like. I think that's kind of why we mesh very well, because we are so different. Like, you do like knowing things. You do like to be aware of what's happening.
I can't go to a restaurant without knowing what's on the menu.
And I was going to say, even for example, yesterday when I had told you like, oh, there's a new place that isn't necessarily Sweet Greens, but it gives Sweet Greens vibe. And you're like, what's the name of the place? And you go and look it up. I'm like, I was there and I didn't even look at the menu. It just looked good. I seen a little bit of the food. It gave me Sweet Green vibes. So like, let's try it. If I don't like it, I don't like it. If I do, yeah, it's another spot. But that's just how I work. Like, I told my therapist this before, and I think that's how I know when I'm not in a good space. God has always been, and I'm not saying that you don't feel like God isn't good in your life. I think this is what helps me and fuels me, that I remember being younger and something even as quote unquote silly as, and I use this example all the time, I wanted my hair to grow. And like, God did that. And baby, I feel like I've always had a head full of hair, but whatever, not to go down the rabbit hole. Even something as small like that. So for me, in that moment, especially I was in like middle school, high school, I'm like, if God loves me enough to be able to hear my very tiny prayer about my hair and show me very tangibly, like, if you show up, granted, was doing the protective styles, was, doing what I got to do with my hair. And so I was also taking care of it. I wasn't neglecting it. And I just feel like from then there's always been like this flow. Granted, I am also very airhead at sometimes, like very dilly-dally, very go with the flow, very like, we'll see what happens, because in my mind, whatever's going to happen is going to happen. And I think that there's pros and cons to each of those perspectives. Like, I don't think that that's really the best thing either, because sometimes I'm not prepared. Even with conversations, like, or different things, you're like, you just gonna go? I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go off a bias. Like, I'm gonna go off how I'm feeling, because when I become too scripted, it feels all over the place. But then in a space like this, when I'm just wah, 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 it's like, well, babes, get to the point. So I say that all to say, it's been looking a little different for me in this season with, you brought up a really good point, attachment. I don't think I've been doing the work, so I can't really say that this is what I've been doing. I hear God telling me very loudly, telling my body, telling my spirit to like, let go of those versions of yourself. It protected you. It made you disconnect a little bit. It made you not stress out or go into like an uncomfortable space. And it's not conducive to your overall well-being or your overall goals. And so for me in this season, surrendering has been letting go of what I was once attached to welcome in like the desires of my heart, if that makes sense. And that's kind of been difficult. And it's like a mind fuck, because it's just like, well, duh, just let that go and you get what you need. But it doesn't feel like that. It's like, I have this attachment to this. Do you mean let it go? It's been sustaining me for so long, or I think it's been sustaining me. So yeah, like surrendering has been releasing attachment to who I was and the actions or the hobbies or like the activities I participated in that were a part of me, and being unsure about how am I going to sustain myself without those things, or like, but what if I want to have a middle ground?
Let me explain the example in my head, and you let me know. When you said attachment of old self, one thing that came to my mind is career-wise, they tell you, go to get a degree, whatever. If you want more money, get a higher degree. Boom. And having that in your head and having that mindset of like, okay, so 1, 2, 3. When 3 doesn't happen, it's like, what do you mean that you said this and that? And I'm attached to this idea of like, this is supposed to happen after this. So until you get okay with, 1, said outcome not happening, 2, whatever you believed was accurate maybe in that season, but how the world's like, Earth always constantly changing, so that change evolved to whatever it is. And 3, now it's like, what the fuck you do, because now I'm not only supposed to be okay with all these 3 things, now I have to reshape and reform what even my future self could look like. And this, I've been attached to this idea. I've been clinging to it for the past, graduated high school around 17. You're maybe 25. So for the past 8 years, this is not something that you thought would happen. This is 8 years you thought that this is the next step. And you have to be okay and kind of mourn and grieve that process of
What the reality is.
Yeah, as well as now a new version of me has to form, because also that from a goal standpoint, I'm not really sure what to kind of shoot for next, because also what I thought I was shooting for didn't manifest in how I thought it would be. So I don't know. I think an example of that small thing that you said
Yeah.
kind of echoed in that aspect.
I definitely think that's an example for you. Because to piggyback off of it, I thought of a few examples while you were talking, so I'll share. I don't think I've ever had an attachment to what my career.
Oh, I know you haven't.
Yeah. Everything again was very much, oh, okay, I like this. Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is very interesting. Let me try it. Oh, I got in. I still like it. If I don't, I'm not dealing with it. I hear you and I see you. Granted, I value comfort. And so maybe that's like a level of comfort for me. Like, they just vibing. We go with the flow.
I think that's just, we're just two different people.
For sure. But I get it though, because it also, we have very different experiences. And so I can't lie and say that if I was put in your position, I wouldn't crash out. Like, I'm gonna be very honest with you. I'll find a place, I'll return, but like, I get it. I think the biggest thing is how you relate to surrendering and how you relate to your value. I think that's where the challenge is, and like,
I think
the
also,
opportunity for you.
it's also very like spiritual. So I think it also like, I think that's why other people get charged with when it comes to like religion and when people say surrender. It's kind of like, it kind of takes people to, it took me when people said surrender to like not where I'm at now, to be like, so you kind of want to say fuck everything I've been through and just fuck it. Just throw my hands up. I think not saying I don't trust higher source, I don't trust the universe, I don't trust all those things, as well as these things still happen to me. So until you kind of start healing those things and come to another like standpoint on it, just being in it is kind of, it's just like, it's a hard thing to do. It does require a lot of different things for whatever surrendering looks like for you. And it takes life experiences too, because it was easy for me to surrender when I was in high school. I gotta go. I gotta go to school.
Because it wasn't really much to lose. We're talking about your life, your livelihood, how you'll be able to support your family and how you're going to be able to
Being
support
an
your
adult.
family.
Surrendering in teenage years and adulthood? Oh.
You brought up a really good point, and we have some points on that kind of later in the conversation. Trust. And I want to like pause there because we're going to get it back to it. I do want to at least give an example because I only think it's fair. Ways that I feel like I have been surrendering is being okay without, and we learned this in couples therapy, the rescuer, and also being okay with setting boundaries in a very practical sense. In my mind, I don't want anyone to, one, question my intention, especially because I feel like although I may dilly and dally, like my intentions are pure. And if they're not, you know it. And not that they're not pure, but if they're not peaches and cream, then you know it. And to come to the understanding that like you can love someone very, very deeply and have to say no more has been difficult. And so like surrendering to that, surrendering to what I thought the relationship was going to look like, surrendering to where the relationship goes and not letting my mind think, oh, dang, this is the end. Like, I believe that God would allow us to come back when we need to. And if not, I also believe that that just may be in the best interest for everyone involved. And at the end of the day, I love you and I love me. And so if that means that's what you need to do to be free, to be aligned, to be in your purpose, I'm damn sure not going to be the one to step in front of that. And although it may be difficult for me to have boundaries, if it's you or me, I have to choose me. I've worked very hard to be okay with choosing me. And so I think the boundaries has been a difficult thing in surrendering because, again, my attachment to like saving said person or saving the relationship or like saving my intentions being perceived outside of what they were. And I'm a little scared because once I get to not giving a damn, like, that is it. But anywho, we can chat, and I don't want this to, we're having our own conversation while also trying not to be very specific. So I want to kind of bring it back. Do you have anything else you want to add about like where you are with surrendering? Okay. So per definition, I think it's been identified in our conversation, surrendering is to yield to something or someone by giving up the struggle to resist. And so what do you feel like you've learned about surrendering so far? And what emotions come up for you when you think about the word surrender?
I think it's also hard for a person like me to be like, I am at my wit's end. Because nobody like feel like seeing me at my wit's end. And I think I'm in the season of I'm approaching it in different regards. And I think there's also a part of that, of approaching a part that you feel like nobody have seen you or be very vulnerable to be seen in that way. Also takes a level of like
being vulnerable to be seen as you need to rest, and so you're not the doing anymore.
I don't know if I'm like, I've been doing for 20 plus years and I am still doing. And I think the point of it is like being okay with being seen that way. And then also, if I don't anything, I think I'm being lazy. So that rest, I think it's a podcast by Wolf Taylor. That I think you should have on a podcast, by the way. But he talked about like how sometimes procrastination and resting and being still, all those things have to kind of coexist, and they have a different way of being in different people. And how do you feel about procrastination, being still, everything else? I say it's all to say, I am a person that always does. The collection that you see, guys, that we're on our body right now, I thought about this like a year ago. And I have to say, like, it took time to be that way, as well as surrendering to what time that was supposed to be put out. That was a lot for me, because it's like, I thought about it should go out. This is it.
Mm-hmm.
Thank it, go.
Yeah.
So I think it just depends on like what we're talking about and what like category of my life. I think surrendering has looked like a lot. What emotion comes up, like I said, from the past, it was very tight, chest tight, throat tight, don't want to breathe. Because at this point, you're telling me I don't know what the fuck's about to happen. Now it's like.
So what emotion is that?
This?
No, the tightness.
Tightness? Before it's very, like, it was very frustration, anger, disappointment, shame, regret. Did I do something wrong? Something wrong with me? Now it's like, girl, nothing's wrong with you. You're wrapping up quarter of your life. Yeah, I don't think anybody's first quarter is just all rainbow sunshine.
Mm-hmm.
I think also being okay with where you are and where you think you were supposed to be. I think that's where my like things cross.
Mm-hmm.
Because taking that I'm a doer X, Y, and Z, I want to take care of people. I would like to take care of everybody I love, as well as I thought I would be able to take care of them by the age I am now. So surrendering that idea of myself is a daily battle. Business has been a daily battle with surrendering, because I feel like I made my business in 2020. So this is our...
Hey, we're both hitting 5 years.
No, that's why I said 2020, and that's off. I think I did mine in 2018. So still congratulations on 5 years. Hey, congratulations. Yeah. I think I'm on 7. And I haven't hit a mill yet. I think that's quite wild. And I think those are like the conversations that I have by myself.
I think one of the purpose of surrender is to allow things to become. Like you mentioned, having to slow down and to stop and to rest. And if you constantly keep messing with something, you're not allowing it to grow and to be. Mm-hmm. So the plants, right? If we keep repotting it, or we
that plant needs to be repotted.
Okay, example, Tom. We keep repotting it. We keep doing this, putting fertilizer, all the things, without the correct timing. it's doing too much to said plan. It's not giving the plan an opportunity to settle, to grow, and to evolve. And that kind of what came up for me as you were talking. I think another thing that kind of comes up. This is why you don't interrupt people. Proceed.
Got it.
Oh, you saying that you feel like why this is also so difficult in career is because you felt like you were supposed to do this and take care of other people and all the things. And I think going back to the first thought, where are you putting your like identity in?
In what?
That's the question. And like
it wasn't job.
Uh-huh.
It wasn't career.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't label.
Yep.
It wasn't title.
Mm-hmm.
What else would you say?
Nothing. You have awareness.
Huh?
You have awareness.
Awareness of what? What do you mean?
Exactly that. It wasn't blah, blah. Like, the question is, where are you putting it in? It's like, I know that's where I identify. But yeah.
Whoever is looking at this that might be where I was a couple weeks ago, hey, man, it's all right. Like, I get it. Like, the titles, CEO, owner, coordinator, coach, healer, whatever it is that you maybe thought you would be and everything else. Yeah, man, I think it's also like how you're raised is it has such a powerful effect on you. Like, to the littlest thing.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I don't, and it's not, it has like it's a coin.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm also okay with how I was raised to, I'm gonna get it regardless.
That's your superpower.
I can't not say like I'm gonna sit down and just be like, no. As well as the other side of that coin is, well, buddy, you have to sit and be still and to know what you should be going after. Because if you don't sit and be still to know what you're going after, you're just chasing like a hamster on a reel. It's gonna just keep on going. You're gonna be a hamster on a reel, thinking you're going somewhere. You ain't really going nowhere. You're stuck on the wheel.
Mm-hmm.
But if you stop, let the wheel settle, look around, oh, maybe if I just step off this wheel and just go straight, I'll be going farther than when I was going on the wheel. So it's very hard. It's very different. And that moment where you stop that wheel and you actually like look at different perspectives, zoom out, that is the part of surrendering. To be like, what's going on here? Like, let me know if I should go right. Let me know if I should go left. Whatever you believe in, higher power, source, your meditation, prayer, journaling, however you get your insight and so. But yeah, hopefully that kind of all up.
Okay, so I feel like I kind of been taught. What have I learned about surrendering thus far? I feel like I kind of mentioned it, like even just now with the interruption, that it allows you to become. Some emotions that kind of come up is a sense of grief. Like, again, as I mentioned, like, what is this supposed to look like? There's a level of like sadness that this is no longer a thing or it's not seemingly available. I think trust, again, which is another part of our conversation, in order to surrender and let go, I have to know that I don't know how you're going to do it, but you're going to catch me, right? Like, even the conversations that we had, I seen somebody post on social media and they were kind of talking about how much they trust their husband and that they will follow them wherever. And not necessarily so much on the following piece, but I trust you so much that I feel like, hey, we about to jump off this ledge. I'm like, all right, bet. Because I know that we rock climbing right after, that there would, as soon as I think I'm about to jump, you're going to attach something to me. There's going to be a bed underneath there. And not so much of like, I trust you. I do trust you in my life, but not so much where like, it's a God complex. Yeah. However, with God, I also feel that way. If even like a post that I made today about like my phone, I don't know what the hell is about to happen, but I know before I leave that something about to happen. Or this phone is going to keep pushing until, you know, I come back or whatever the case may be. And initially it is kind of that like sometimes frustration as well. Inconvenience really isn't an emotion, but maybe a little like startled or shocked that like, okay, what's happening? Why are we moving stuff? Why are we jumping off the wheel? We're going. What's happening? So those are a few emotions that come up for me. And I think in times, in different seasons where I did fully surrender, I think that peace and like awe and surprise also came out of it, because it's just like, dang, I thought my way was cool. I thought that wheel was lit. But not only when I get off, there's food there, but there's a treadmill, there's a bigger wheel. The wheel now is like a Ferris wheel, so it's like almost like a ride, and I enjoy those things. Then there's like a little concession stand with more food. Then there's like a little spa, like bump this wheel. And so obviously that is difficult when you're going through it, when you're in the midst of it. So, yeah. So, I mean, I think the challenge with surrendering, though, is, again, as we mentioned, like the lack of the act itself of letting go of control. I do kind of feel like at the end of the day, control is kind of like an illusion anyways, because what are we really in control of other than ourselves? Even if we do plan, there's so many variables in life, and I think this is maybe where I am a little bit more logical and I can be more on like the sciencey side, the practicality. There are so many other variables. We will be sitting talking about the different outcomes, the different perspectives. And so either you take this long trying to flip, I don't know, what's kind of coming to my mind is like there's one puzzle, but then maybe by accident in the factory another puzzle piece got thrown in there. Maybe one piece was gone, and trying to like force these pieces together will quite literally never work because it's the wrong puzzle, it's the wrong piece, and you're missing a piece. And so that's how I kind of feel when things feel difficult. Not necessarily difficult, when things feel like they're not working out or they're not like in alignment. It's because I'm trying to force something that God doesn't want for me anyways. Or if I do, and it is a moment where like, oh, it goes through, I'm either getting the short end of the stick, I'm not really getting the abundance that was actually available to me, or it's like an illusion. So it seems not like, kind of like the mirage. It seems like there's an island and water and waves, but then when I get there, it's a rain puddle. And I don't want that anyways. Do you think surrendering requires trust? Mm-hmm. Fair. Trust in like yourself or?
No, something bigger than you.
Uh-huh. Fair.
It's, if I had to surrender to myself, it's kind of like surrendering to the process. Mm-hmm. Surrendering to the journey, surrendering to even who you were yesterday kind of energy. Like, you cannot just trust that it's you, in how I look at it. Because if that's the case, then why you're not where you want to be? Mm-hmm. At the end of the day, like, if you have that much power, if you have that much control, you have
why
that much,
working?
All that verbiage, if you have it, you would have done it. Mm-hmm. And that is just my belief system. That's just how I function from it. Because imagine how much stress it would be to think that you have the power and control to surrender to yourself, and that's all you have to do, and you have, everything else will come like that. No, because more people will be millionaires, more people will be where they want to be alive, more people will, like, the depression rate in the world would be them. Like, it is something bigger than you in this world. It's not just you. And it's like, at the end of the day, you have to trust in something, higher power, whatever, that when you, quote unquote, jump off the cliff, if you are like, I kind of look at it like, and I feel like career has just been brought up because that's the best thing I can do it. If I'm going up a ladder and I'm going so far up that I can only really see the next, I don't even know sure what they call it, the little next row that I'm climbing, I'm having faith that there is still more of those to come.
Mm-hmm.
And in that, I'm also opening my eyes up to whatever day-to-day stuff is happening, whatever. If I am all-knowing and I am the one that I should be trusting, I know how everything's going to find out.
Mm-hmm.
I know what my next step should be. I know X, Y, and Z, but that's not how we were created.
Mm-hmm.
That's not how we landed here. So I feel like the answers are within you now.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like confused that. I feel like the answers are within you. You could tap in and get them, but that will take stillness, meditation, prayer, journaling, sitting in silence, going on a walk, whatever that looks like for you to get your answers. Going out watching birds. Birds are nice. All right. I don't want any bird slander under this video or anything. Comment your favorite bird. That's how I know you watched it. But yeah, your signs. So it does require trust. It doesn't. I'm not going to tell you what you got to trust in. That's not science. That's not my spiel or my soapbox. But for me to firmly believe that it's going to keep, I'm gonna keep climbing, and I'm just gonna. I believe there's going to be something next, because I can't stop here. I made it up halfway the mountain now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't think I'm going back down. I might not know when the next, or when it might be placed. I might have to stay here for a minute. I might have to hang out on this part of the ladder until I figure out some things. So I think everything in regards to surrendering requires some type of trust into something.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe
Yeah.
you.
Mm-hmm. I definitely understand your perspective and resonate with a lot of parts of it. I think for me, there is a level of trust within myself with surrendering, at least in the example that I gave and kind of like the season in myself, because I trust that when my body is saying it doesn't like it anymore, or when my nervous system is constantly dysregulated,
Which are the signs.
Which are the signs, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also have to trust in myself and my body that like what you're feeling is true. But also I trust in God, the fact that He's allowing me to have a sense of feel. He's allowing those quote unquote small signs, those small moments to reach me. I have to trust in myself that although it's scary to get to that next step or that next version of yourself, that I trust that you can do it. But I also trust that God will equip you with the resources, the tools, the connections to be able to be supported. And so I don't think that all trust needs to be within yourself or all faith within yourself, because again, I think that kind of comes into like a God-like complex. And then I do think that there can be an abundant amount of trust in God while also not feeling like it's just like, oh, God, bippity boppity boo, do it. And then you're sitting chilling and hanging out.
He's not a magician.
Right.
Like, it's not
Not a sorcerer.
Yeah, it's not stuff like that. It's not a...
But He does make miracles.
Miracles does happen, as well as the people that respectfully, I feel like, have received miracles. It wasn't just like, I want it. Like, there's some type of faith that it is going to be done. It's some type of surrendering to, I've done all I could do now. Now it's all in your hands. It's some type of...
It has to be mutually beneficial.
It can. We have to both participate.
Yeah, active participation.
We
Wow.
both have to participate.
And I think that's the part of life to like, I choose to be in an active participation. And even when you're participating, that doesn't mean you're going to win all the time. It doesn't mean you're going to win the game. So it doesn't mean it's going to be great all the time. But I want to be a team player here. I want to, even though it gets difficult, I want to be here. And I feel like that kind of goes into my next question. How have you surrendered within our relationship? Because I think outside of my relationship with God, surrendering to my old habits have really been, I feel like, cultivated in our relationship. Like, I feel like as of lately, we've been saying it all often too, like, I'm just a girl. You're not in a relationship with a guy. I am, and not saying that guys don't need love and they're not sensitive and then having emotions and all the things, but like, talk to me nice. Talk to her nice. Talk to her gently. So even when I get mad and maybe like at that time in my life where I wouldn't really care and I would just respond, I feel like unconsciously I would see like the little girl in you. And I'm like, nah, I'm not going to do her like that because I wouldn't want someone to do the little girl in me like that. Some other ways I feel like a surrendering is just because we have experienced things in childhood and we've acknowledged it, that does not make it an excuse to keep going. It's saying like, these were my experiences. I'm sharing them. I acknowledge them. But I also love this person so much to say, hey, I'm trying, I'm working on this, but I don't want to actively project my experiences onto you just because. Mm-hmm. If anything, surrendering to the relationship, and it's just kind of like having a balance, is after building trust with you is knowing that, okay, she won't hurt me. Mm-hmm. Like, and even if she did, all the years and time before of how gentle you have been with my heart, with my mind, with my body, with my spirit, like, even if you do hurt me, I recognize that you're a human, and I'm still grateful for all the ways you loved and supported me from before. And so I feel like that's kind of how it's been showing up, at least for me, in our relationship. A few ways. I'm sure we can keep talking, but how does it, how has it shown up for you?
Yeah, matching tattoos, yeah. That was surrendering. That was surrendering. I'm not getting matching tattoos to nobody.
I can't say them.
Hey. Two different lifestyles, and maybe I was like, hell to no. And then you came in my life and
I feel like we're smart about it though. Like, we don't have our names yet or anything like that, but I digress. Proceed.
I think being in a relationship itself was surrendering for me. I'm not even going to cap. I am very much so to myself. I am nobody let it get inside of these four defined, built by brick type of walls. So for me to let you in, I think that was surrendering in itself, even in the minutest form. But like through it all, I think it's just, I think in relationships, it can kind of like tie into surrendering and being vulnerable. Because when you surrender, you're a type of vulnerable. So even when we're in couples therapy and having that like back and forth, I think that's the type of surrendering of like also letting control of a relationship. Like, I'm not sure I would like to be in a relationship for the rest of my life. Surrendering in that aspect of now I'm going to therapy with you and I'm being vulnerable and bringing somebody else in as a third party to fill it out, make sure what we're doing progresses us, not regresses us. Mm-hmm. I think that's my tie. And like I said, the first part of like being in a relationship is respectfully. Not I can do better by myself, like Tyler Perry movie, but
that's the vibes.
I was not, and I wasn't looking for nobody. Like, you just came into my life, and hey, that's a beautiful thing to say that you weren't looking and it came to you. So it's a testimony.
Mm-hmm. Fair. Okay. The last question is, what do you feel like you're currently being asked to surrender to?
Career. I think every time I come here, I talk about career, and also with being the co-host. Like, why do we always bring me in for this topic? Like, now, why did that? What kept going up? I don't know. I believe also I'm going to this because I'm gonna help somebody down the line that's been in my shoes 20 years from now, because it's just so warped. It's surrendering in career probably does not connect, or what somebody would think of when they first say that to surrender. But coming up and being like I said in the beginning of the episode, I was from probably 6, 7 years old thinking I gotta get out the mud. I get my degree. Let's get it. I am death. I am that guy. Mm-hmm. I am who they said I am.
Uh-huh.
I
mean, those things are so true.
Which I thought I was gonna be a WNBA player. This is how logistic works, and we're gonna wrap this up. I was like, in middle school, I started doing the math. I'm like, it's only 8 WNBA teams, only 10 little slots they could fill. That's what, 80 people? You know how many people in this world play basketball? Women? Baby. At that point, I knew I needed to figure out something else as a backup plan. Because that odds, and surrendering, I could have been like, God, I'm going to do my best. I'm going to carry the weight, all the things. Yes, I knew that wasn't my story, though. But I think always having this idea, having how to reshape it, I think I'm just in that reshape year of whatever career is supposed to look like for me. I have them probably, now that I think about it, every 10 years or so, because that was probably my first till I was 10. I was like, okay, now I can't be
You had that thought at 10 years old.
I was going to be a WNBA player.
But like to conceptualize, to break it down, the statistics, knowing that you need.
That's middle school, right? Middle school.
A little bit like element. Yeah.
Because that's when you're like 6th, 7th grade-ish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
And then when I got in an accident when I was 17, I knew like, oh, baby, your body really can't do that. And what are you going to school for? So then that shape, and then I did my 20s, and now I'm about to be in my 30s, and I'm having another 1 pound, maybe every, God, 40s be good to me. Yeah, this went on a tangent. Surrendering career, surrendering with people. I think I'm being asked to work on that eventually with family and everything else. Surrendering in my spirituality. I think spirituality, like, that was a hard part for me too. It was especially having people that pass very young to me and very close to me. Going back to the trust, it's also hard to trust somebody. Like, you took this person away from me in your head, and it's just like, yeah, they did everything you placed in my life. I know they're in a better place, X, Y, and Z, but you took this person away from me. I don't feel like nobody else had the control too. I think you could have left him a little bit. that kind of back and forth.
Yeah.
So I think trusting, I think that's why people like have a hard time with spirituality and religion, is because yes, all these stuff can happen, bad, good, whatever, as well as I trust in this entity also to make sure I'm straight.
And it's all for a purpose. It's all for a reason. Like, who are you to have said that person didn't fulfill what they needed to fulfill? What if, and I never really thought about it until like right now, what if one of that person's, one of their purpose was to show you what unconditional fatherly love can look like, or like unconditional.
Why I had to only deal with it for like 2 years?
Because to know that it's available. Now, I'm not God. I don't know. I'm not speaking on your behalf, or your not speaking on your behalf, or your spiritual team's behalf at all. But I'm just saying, like,
I think that's just the innate. That's the human response. So like, okay, yeah, I received that because I did get that, and
a little bit more. Come on.
Some more soft. Bullshit. People say, okay, I think that's a whole other tangent.
That's because this is what y'all think.
This is what you love on this earth. Like, but no, I think everybody has a purpose. Like, you're still trying to figure out your purpose on this life. You don't know when you're going to hit your plateau and be like, yeah, I did what I had to do. So I get it. Logically,
Fair.
spiritually,
Yeah.
that's just how it is sometimes. And grief and joy sometimes is just very joyful. Sometimes like, hey, girl, I see you. Cardinal, let's go. You're here. Rock and roll.
Yeah.
But how about you?
Fair. And what am I surrendering to right now? Honestly, old habits. Old physical, emotional, interpersonal habits. Like, things that I've also learned and developed throughout childhood, things that, like I mentioned a little bit earlier, used as like a barrier for safety and like survival, and surrendering to the fact that like I can exhale, I am here, I'm well, like I'm doing the things, and just kind of being okay with that. So yeah. Anywho, I hope this didn't come out as rushed or all over the place. We just, per usual, want to start the conversation. So definitely invite you to continue this conversation with your partners, within yourself, with your friendships, your family members, your spiritual team, and kind of like explore what does surrendering look like to you, especially in this season, and like what level of trust do you feel like you need to, I don't want to say completely go all in, but at least whatever
Let
percent,
go.
at least let go or loosen the grip. Remembering that none of this needs to be done in a day. Again, purpose for these conversations is to start every day by day. Is to just, the purpose of this conversation is to start the conversation, to hopefully let you know that you're not alone, two different perspectives, and we're together, and trying our best to navigate it individually and within a relationship can also be difficult, but it's possible. It's worth it if you deem it to be worth it. And yeah, so I appreciate you for coming on and for all the things that you do very much. I appreciate you, and I pray that this season for you, you're equipped, you are opened, and most importantly, you're protected. Any final thoughts?
Nah, man. Y'all copy y'all some Reborn 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5. Getting back in there, slowly but surely. Then break down the bracelets. Green flower, angelite for the green, fern, citrine for citrine, smoky quartz for smoke.
And I've wore it before if you see my social media clips.
Red jasper for clay, and blue tiger's eye, which is my favorite crystal known to man, for Fiji blue. So, yeah. It's on my heart to say whoever's trying to, try again, whoever has been pushed down, whoever has been trying to figure out what they're here for, just keep going one step at a time. That's why I said day by day. It's not going to be easy. It's like when you wake up in the morning, you might feel the best. The next day it might be better. It might be the same. It might be, but just got to keep taking it day by day and keep pushing. That's why I made Reborn. So, and you need a constant reminder for those things. Copy 1, 2, 3, 4, or all 5. If you do cop all 5, whoever cops all 5,
All 5 what?
shirts in the purchase, I got something special for you.
Okay.
And they're coming from you, I got something even special for you.
Got you. So don't forget to explore your passions, be persistent with your healing, and be purposeful and intentional with everything that you do. See you guys. Namaste.